All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Saturday, this 8th of July, 2023. A weird day indeed because of the weird stuff that was going on with the schedule for this weekend, but still a productive day, still a great day. Let's talk a little bit about that, shall we? So, here's the deal. Originally this weekend, it was going to be the usual schedule where on Saturday I have my React Day of DSP versus the Internet, and I balance that with a late night gameplay stream. Sunday was going to be a daytime gameplay stream, and we were going to have no stream on Sunday night because I have to film my private patron React videos for the month. But sometimes things happen in life. I had some stuff going on behind the scenes, personal stuff that has literally nothing to do whatsoever with my streams, and quite frankly, I never would have even mentioned it to any of you if it didn't affect them. Well, it did. All right, I had to have an interruption to my stream today, no matter what, in the afternoon. And because I had to have this interruption, I knew that it was going to make more sense for it to be a standard gameplay stream today to be interrupted than my React stream. Why? Well, quite frankly, there are people who pay to be members of the channel DSP React to get their videos watched on this show every week. If I had a shortened show or a show that was interrupted and broken and disjointed, basically I'm kind of cheating those people out of the value of what they purchased being a member of the channel. That would be disingenuous of me. It would basically be me over-promising and under-delivering. I don't like doing that. So because of that, I decided to move the React show. So today it was a full day of gameplay, and tomorrow will be my React content, which we'll talk about in just a moment. But I didn't know exactly what time today this interruption was going to happen yet. So because of that, I, excuse me, I didn't really have an opportunity to plan everything perfectly. So what I said we would do is as follows. We'll do the Level 1 podcast in the morning. I will do my best to shorten the show to around an hour rather than over an hour to an hour and a half. That way we could have more time for gameplay of Final Fantasy 16. The main stream will be Final Fantasy 16. At some point it'll be interrupted. When it does, I'll let you know. I'll go on a break. I'll come back when I can and let you know when we're coming back for more gameplay. All right? That was the original plan. It didn't go down like that, and I'll tell you in a moment. The late stream tonight was going to be the conclusion of Diablo 4, if I could get that far, because some people weren't convinced I could do it. But regardless, that was the rough plan. So how did it happen? Well, we did the Level 1 podcast, and I did shorten it to about an hour. So we ended around noonish, and I said, all right, we're actually going to get ready, and we're going to try to jump in to Final Fantasy 16. So I end the podcast, and as I'm ending it, I get a phone call. Okay, the interruption's going to happen in a few minutes. And I was like, oh, so this is actually kind of earlier than I thought it was going to be at first. Like, okay, well, if the interruption has to happen now, then cool. What we can do is let's get the interruption out of the way first. Then let me come back from it. And then we'll just do solid gameplay with no interruption for the rest of the stream. Thing is, I didn't know how long this was going to take. So basically, I was told I was going to receive a second phone call only a couple of minutes from when this interruption was going to happen. So stay tuned. It's going to happen soon. And I said to my audience, well, even though we ended the podcast, let's still just kind of chill for a little bit longer here on the stream and see, just talk until I get this second phone call. And so that's what we did. We ended up doing like 20 minutes of exclusive just talking on stream. Eventually, the second call came in. And I was told, all right, it's going to go down. All right, guys, I got to go. So I took a break. I put up the ads. I ran that. And basically, I was gone from stream from around 12:30 till almost 2 p.m. Pacific time. Okay? Hilarious about this. So when this phone call came in, I literally grabbed my phone like this. All right? And I put it up to my ear like this. I muted the mic. And I even minimized everything. Like I went over to this screen. And on this screen here, where usually I have my, my stuff going, I think that I don't know if this camera was right here or if it was on the end, like the right-hand side or over there. But anyway, it was all very, done quickly. And I showed nothing, because obviously it's my private life, has nothing to do with anything on stream. And I talked on the phone, muted it, no one could see it, no lip reading. I kind of put myself to the side so no one could see me or whatever, talking or whatever. And then I went on my merry way to do this thing that I needed to do. So it was about an hour and a half. My haters were frantically trying to screen grab my phone to figure out what the number was and who it was I was talking to on the phone. Now, keep in mind, I told you guys, I'm going to tell you the story of what happened tomorrow on the podcast. I outright said that today. I said, I will tell you the full story once the story is fully done and I can tell you the whole thing start to finish. Why tell you the beginning of a story before there's a resolution? Let me tell you the whole thing at once. It makes sense then, right? These idiots trying to fucking pry into my private life. Now, there was nothing there that they could figure out or anything, but I just find it hilarious. That's how loserish these people are. When you say to me, Phil, you obsess too much about what your haters do. No, no, no. You don't have any idea the extents these people go to. Because trust me, if there was information here, they would have fucking called the number. They would have harassed people involved. They would have been all over it because that's what they do. They're actual mentally unsound people. Normal people don't act like this. Okay? Normal people be like, oh, he had an important phone call he had to take out of nowhere. That's fine. No. To them, this is the opportunity to try to ruin Phil's life. You understand? Anything we could do, any private information, let's ruin Phil's life as much as we can. That's how fucked up, and just look at their Twitter accounts. They were doing it today. People were sending me this information. Just so you know, obsessed people are doing crazy things right now to you. That's great. I don't really need to know that. But man, to see them prove every point I've ever made about them right is pretty ironic because they do it publicly. Yet people act like that doesn't exist. Oh, Phil, that's not happening. It's public. You can check their fucking Twitter feeds right now. They posted it everywhere. Look, here's the screen cap. We tried to rip from the video and analyze and get the number, but we can't get it. It's too blurry. People are nuts. I mean it. No, that's not me making a joke. That's not me. Oh, Phil, you're talking about mentally ill is wrong. No, no, no. It's wrong if it's an exaggeration for the meant of insulting. I'm not trying to insult anyone. People who act like that are mentally unsound, and they should actually seek professional help or be directed to it. You don't do that kind of fucked up stuff. Who cares what this thing is that's going on that I'm going to tell you the full story of tomorrow? Why would you try to pry into my private life? Anyway, so the interruption happened. It lasted about an hour and a half. I came back right before 2 p.m. Pacific time, and we proceeded to do 2 hours of Final Fantasy 16 gameplay on my first stream. And it was all right. It wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. There was a lot of fucking dialogue that was pretty long-winded and boring, and there was a lot of bullshit. But we did a few productive things. For example, the plot is advanced. We now know what's going on in the plot. More major... I won't spoil. Watch the videos, obviously. But more major developments in regards to the plot and things going on. You know, the direction for the game has kind of been established after 15 freaking hours. Now you have the direction of the game. We unlocked a chocobo that we can now ride around as a mount. That's cool. In an open world, we can, you know, save a little bit of time riding the chocobo and then jump off of it when we want to fight. And, you know, jump back on it when we want to scoot around. So that was pretty fun. So overall, not a bad day of 2 hours of content of Final Fantasy 16. But again, the problem is every time I play the game, half the time's wasted. I would argue today 1 hour was a wasted time. So if the game would just fucking get on with it, we probably would have had a better stream. But what can you do? The game is slow as dirt. Then on tonight's late stream. This went down pretty much without a hitch. The conclusion of the Diablo 4 playthrough, where we finished up not only the main story, but there was a tiny bit of post-game kind of epilogue story to go with it. And people explained to me how the post-game content works. And I said, well, at this point, I'm done. You know, I've played 20 hours of this game. I want to take a break from it. If people want to see me go back and do the capstone dungeon and do the next season of content that starts in 2 weeks or whatever it is, I'll consider it later. For now, I definitely need a break from all these RPGs, so I'm glad that Diablo has been finished for now. It went well. By the way, I liked the ending of the game. I actually enjoyed it. I definitely am appreciative because my audience over the last 2 streams explained some of this plot to me, so I liked it more because I kind of understood it better, and it was a good experience overall. I think the game is quite good. Am I in love with it? Is it reinventing the wheel? No. It's a good sound game. Is it like, oh my god, blow my socks off game of the year? Probably not. Maybe if I was more into this style of game, if I was so hooked that I was dying to do the seasonal content and I was co-oping with friends and buddies, maybe I would love it. I think it's just, it's good. All right? It's not, oh my god, amazing. It's good. And I had a good time with it. So thanks to anyone who was there for the entirety of that playthrough, whether you watched on demand on YouTube slowly, or maybe you're going to binge it all now all at once because now it's complete. Or maybe you watched on the streams, whatever it was. Thank you to those who were there and supported it, okay? Now, yeah, matter of factly, today sucked for support, and it's no one's fault. We had a disjointed first stream, And we had Diablo, a game that quite frankly never really had tons of support to begin with. We had a couple people here and there who came by and supported it in droves, but it was a slow support day. Tomorrow is also going to be a slow support day. I already know this, all right? That's why I'm grateful that people have been so supportive during days where they have games like Street Fighter 6, because it helps to make this even out when I have a weekend like this weekend where everything is weird and screwed up, okay? So, yeah, because some people will say, oh, Phil, did you see you didn't even hit like a tips goal today? I mean, you're right. I think I hit $50 on the first stream, and this second stream I got like $7 or something like that. It's not the end of the world. You don't have to freak out about it, all right? It's a slow weekend. It will be a slow weekend. It happens. But the other things like Street Fighter being amazing yesterday made up for it. It's cool, all right? So, tomorrow, let's talk about this, because now tomorrow is different. Sunday is a weird day. There'll be a level 1 podcast here on DSPGaming, and then there will be DSP versus the internet over on DSP Reacts after that, and that's it. There's no other content anywhere. There's no late stream, there's no gameplay, nothing, okay? Why? Because I need to still film those private React videos for patrons. I need the time to do it. It's got to be tomorrow night. So because of that, that's it. You know, normally it wouldn't have been that, but I had to do it that way to divvy out the time, and it's fine. It's perfectly fine. There's no issues there, all right? So, tomorrow, come on by to the podcast. If all you care about is the podcast, welcome. Let's have a fun, chill discussion, and let's do DSP versus the internet and have fun with that, and that's really it. I would ask, yeah, if you support my stuff, swing by tomorrow. If you can support the podcast, if you're only going to be here for that, or if you could support the React channel tomorrow, that'd be great. Because typically days when we do DSP versus the internet, those streams are dead. I almost get no support once the show starts. It'd be great to get some, all right? But that's it. We get back to regular scheduled streams on Monday. Monday, we'll have a regular podcast. We'll have a Street Fighter 6 multiplayer stream where I'll either play with Lily or Marisa. And then the late stream will be Endgame of Zelda, where we try to finish up the last dungeon and head into the push to fight Ganon, okay? So that's coming. Tuesday this week will be Final Fantasy 16, and on the late stream, we're likely going to do some Street Fighter 6 World Tour mode, which I haven't done in a month. It's a mode that's so different from the main game that I've played so much of. It's a mode that people wanted to see me play more of. It's perfect for a late night chill environment. So if you like interaction, you like fun, you like chill streams, come by Tuesday night as we explore the World Tour mode for the second time. And then Wednesday will be my final consecutive stream of the week with Street Fighter 6 multiplayer again, and the conclusion of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So that means by the end of this week, we got 2 playthroughs wrapped up. Night streams will be open, and we can discuss what we want to start next week, whether that's a new playthrough like Amnesia the Bunker, whether that's going back to something like Elden Ring, whether it's something completely different. Let's talk. Let's figure it out. All right, everyone? That was the day. It was a weird day, but it was still a fun day, and I had a good day with all of you. Thank you all for watching. Have a good evening. See you in the morning for the podcast, and of course, for DSP versus the internet. Peace out. Have a good night, everyone. See you later.